I guess I better put my glasses on so I can see. The press in the Down Beach Current were notified of this meeting. A copy of the same was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Would you take a second, turn off all electronic equipment, and we're going to stand for the flag salute. Attention, salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tom, would you call the roll, please?
Becker.
Here.
Blumberg.
Here.
Talby.
Here.
Before we begin our meeting, we have something pleasant to do. Fred? Fred, is he allowed to touch that? So we can talk about him and he can't hear us, so it's okay. Are we okay? There we go. Okay. We have a pleasant task to do before we begin our regular business. Marty?
Yes, thank you, Mike. I think I'll go up to the podium. This way? No, just So he thinks I need the microphone. That's pretty crazy. It's hands-free, he said. Okay, so it's my honor and privilege today to address you, and I thank everybody for coming. And I want to read to you a little something that's going to appear in our electronic newsletter, and then I have a proclamation. And so I read as follows. As you may have heard, Tom Hiltner, our wonderful longtime city clerk, will be leaving us at the end of the month. Thank you to Tom for his over 25 years of dedicated service to the residents of Margate. His professionalism and knowledge of the job will be greatly missed. I wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors and retirement. Margate was lucky to have Tom, as no one person cared more or went further out of his way for the residents of Margate. Tom was the go-to guy for all departments and the glue that held our city together for many years. His expertise in the workings of city government and ability to problem solve provided assistance for our residents, department heads, employees, and commissioners each and every day. Tom worked tirelessly 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for the people of Margate. Thank you to Tom Hiltner. And that'll appear. That'll appear in our electronic newsletter. Thank you, sir. And now, with the help of Rosie Freed, our excellent deputy, we prepared a proclamation for Tom, and I would like, if you bear with me, to read that to you. Whereas Thomas D. Hiltner, known as the heart and soul of Margate City, is being honored on the occasion of his retirement after more than 25 years of dedicated service to the city of Margate City. And whereas Tom's tenure as city clerk spanned several changes in commission leadership, but proved to be the unifying force throughout those many changes. And whereas Tom was always ready to provide assistance to residents as well as his fellow employees, and will be sorely missed by all. And whereas Tom distinguished himself in his position of city clerk in upholding the core duties of that office, as well as the position of tax collector. And whereas Tom's knowledge and execution of the intricate workings of city government were invaluable during the critical post-Sandy operations within the city of Margate City. And whereas Margate City's history will show the effectiveness and dedication of Thomas D. Hiltner in the many years to come. Now and therefore, let us together wish Tom good luck in his retirement and his golf game, and send him off with love and gratitude and sincere wishes for a long and healthy life for himself, his son Thomas Jr., and Kathy, and further join the Margate City Board of Commissioners in proclaiming today, December 18th, in the city of Margate City, Thomas D. Hiltner Day, throughout the city of Margate City, and urge all our residents to say thank you, Tom Hiltner. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You ready? We're waiting for you, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to go to department head reports, and I think we're going to start today with Roger, seeing as he's top on the agenda. Go ahead, Roger.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations, Tom. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas to everybody. It's a tough event to follow. I've been with Tom the whole time, the whole 25 years. I taught him everything that he knows, and he did well. Many years ago, the commissioners created by ordinance a working group within City Hall called the Staff Committee, which consisted of the zoning officer, the board administrators, the construction official, and the city clerk. And I put a paper in front of you in which I'm recommending today that there be changes to this staff committee that are pretty important for the city to proceed with. The duties and obligations of the staff committee were, as I listed them, to schedule planning board cases, classify subdivisions, develop administrative procedures, and determine whether site plan action is required for changes in food or restaurant establishments. As we all know, there have been a lot of dramatic changes to town in the last 2 years due to Superstorm Sandy, the incredible volume of activity that is unrelenting, and the increased sensitivities of people in Margate about higher houses, larger houses, and we feel that it would be a good idea, and this is after consultation with Solicitor Abbott and Rich Deeney, to enlarge the staff committee and enlarge some of its duties. So what I'm suggesting today is that we add people to the staff committee. We keep the zoning officer, of course, the planning board administrator, the construction official, but we also add either the city solicitor or the planning board solicitor, the police chief and the mercantile officer, possibly the chairman or a member of the planning board, eliminate the city clerk as that has not would not be deemed to be necessary, and have available as needed the city engineer or the solicitor who's not the actual one who's on the staff committee. And then we would enlarge the duties to include, as I wrote here, recommending ordinance changes that cannot wait for master plan revision, deal with emergent issues and complaints to attempt to prevent litigation, provide ordinance interpretations subject to planning board concurrence, and bring before the planning board questions for interpretation. This would not be a bureaucratic group intended to slow things down, but rather to keep things moving, but in a proper and right path. So I'm presenting this to you, Commissioners, today. If you agree that we should go ahead with something along these lines, given the nature of development in Margate these days, I would be willing to work with Scott Abbott over the next couple of weeks, prepare an ordinance revision, and present it to you for passage in the month of January. Or if you want to just look at it a little bit, let me know your pleasure.
Okay. Do you want to know now, Roger?
It's up to you.
Lonnie, what do you-
I'd like to go ahead with
I think it's a good idea. It sounds good to me. I think we talked a little bit about this, so I'm in agreement.
Why don't you get together with whoever you need and present us
Will do.
with something we can look at, okay?
Okay, and I thank Rich and Scott for helping me develop this, and we'll do that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Roger. Fred, do you want to start?
I have two resolutions on the agenda tonight. Scott and Rosie put together and got everything together. So one of them is for the joint use with Atlantic City Electric to connect to the poles, and the other one is the Code Red system renewal for the next year. Both of those are on there. I'd appreciate your support on that. That said, business-related, that's all I really have. I'd also like to congratulate Tom on his retirement. You know, him and I worked together for 15 years since I've been here, and be sad to see him go, and they're leaving it in capable hands as he leaves with the staff that we have. And we'll just continue on without him, although the golf game does need some work, so you can spend some time doing that. But congratulations, Tom.
Thank you.
Rosie?
Just, we're busy, obviously, transitioning right now, not only from the year end into the new year, but with the changes in personnel. And that's pretty much what we're doing in our office. And again, I'd like to join everybody else. I like to say that I've been with Tom. I'm the only woman besides your mother and your sister who's been with you this long. But it's been great. You've been a great teacher. I've learned a lot. I've loved every minute of it, and it's hard for me to talk about it, so that's all.
Maureen?
We're good, wrapping up the end of the year, and I'd just like to echo what everybody else is saying. Congratulations and best of luck.
Jim?
Tom, you're the only one to retire alive. Everybody else who retired, they usually die before they retire. Call it the Muriel Hickson. Congratulations, Tom. I'm going to miss you. I'm going to have to go find somebody to yell at me. I mean, Roger, you want to yell at me? Yeah. Hey, that's right.
Jim, I'll do it.
It's 25 years. I mean, geez, where's time gone? And I really never thought this day would come. I thought I'd retire before you. How'd you do that? Right now, our department is full speed ahead for next year, and I think 63, like I sent you, demolitions is an all-time high, and there's more coming down. As we speak, there's guys trying to get in here before the end of the year to tear more houses down, and I can't imagine what the economy is going to be next year, but if it's anything like this year, you might as well just, I don't know, I'm speechless. I can't say how much money must be coming into this town with new construction. We're motivated into really, I know Rich Deeney and I spoke a little bit about this, of controlling job sites a little bit better. I think we're going to impose a little more restrictions on maybe posting a bond on the work sites, and if they fail to comply or keep their job sites clean, we'll just start taking away that bond money. I think that if they get them in the pocket, that'll get their attention. We had a case last week where a gentleman was a contractor, took advantage of a couple homeowners in Bucks County, that he came down here and did work for Margate people, and he was found guilty on, I think, 12 to 15 charges. I gave the report to Nanette, and she's going to do a story on it when I get her all the information. So it'll let people know there are people out there who, if they get taken advantage of, they have their options to pursue them in court and maybe getting their money back. But this is different, Scott. Isn't this civil? Where this case was, it's not it's a
Jimmy,
criminal.
it was criminal.
Criminal.
And I believe 3 homeowners in Margate were scammed out of a total of, I think it was 12. And I did want to commend you. You were very prompt to volunteer and say you would go up to Doylestown if necessary to testify, which is no small matter, especially when it's criminal. It puts a lot of pressure on you and stress. And they found this guy guilty. And if there's going to be a newspaper story on it, that would be great, so people understand. I mean, these contractors scam people, and we're talking serious money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, and Jimmy, you contributed to that, and that was a good thing.
Well, we have a really strong paperwork trail with our office. We don't, we have files and everybody. We're worse than the KGB. So we have everything you could ever imagine for our file. And that's all I report.
Thank you, Jim. Roger, you have anything else?
It sounded like you didn't want me to. I also taught him everything he knows. Just go in good health, Tom. All the best to you in your upcoming wedding of your son. And I remember when he first came here, he worked for Bob Gilchrist as like assistant deputy minor, whatever, city clerk, in a little corner in the room right next to Gilchrist. Like he had to watch him like every hour. And he grew into a very, very great dean of city clerks. And I will personally miss him very much and wish him well. Good health. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Tom, do you have anything to report before you give your 10-minute speech?
No, nothing to report. But thank you, everybody, for all the kind words. And I'll certainly miss everybody around here. Thank you for those who showed up. And I'll be in touch. I won't be a stranger. But thank you very much. Thank you.
Tom, can I have that proclamation? I'll just cross off your name and put my name in it for next month.
Scott?
Very briefly, Mayor, we made some progress. We had that case, as we had talked about, on Bayshore Drive West that has been resolved between the parties. That will not be going to court, and that is a very good thing. I'd also like to add my 2 cents on Tom Hiltner. Through the years, I've known Tommy for a very long time, and I was particularly impressed with his actions when Hurricane Sandy had hit and the town was devastated and we were in recovery mode. And Tom was out there as a dedicated public servant and really put forth a tremendous effort to get the town back up on its feet, and I was always impressed with that. And I just want to say to him, best of luck with your retirement, and I found you to be one of the most knowledgeable people in the area involving municipal government and the workings of government, and I congratulate you on your retirement.
Thank you very much, Scott. Appreciate it.
Rich?
I haven't known Tom that long, even though we were in municipal government together. I had met him before, but I didn't really know him. And Tom, I appreciate your guidance during the time I've been here with you. We got to know each other better and better as each month went along. I can guarantee you, Tom, you're retiring, but you'll be back in some capacity in local government. I know that from experience, so thanks.
Thank you.
Mayor, I have one report. I've been reporting since September relative to our interactions with the state and federal government on the beach replenishment plan. Most of what I'm going to read and then give, it's a serial of of information here, and I continue it so that there's a whole history since September at least. And most of what I'm going to read tonight, the last couple of paragraphs, have been distributed in one form or another through the public media. So there's not a lot of new news here. I don't want to have everybody listening for the new news, but I do want to make it part of the public record, and for those that don't regularly read or listen to other media sources, this is a short version. I'm going to pick up with December 4th, which is really the last time we met, but I'm going to pick up from there. On this day, the 4th, on this day, the parties appeared in U.S. District Court before Judge Renee Baum, according to the temporary restraining order signed on November 24th by Judge Baum. After hearing the parties, Judge Baum approved an interim resolution of our litigation to stop the construction of dunes on the beaches of Margate. We are pleased with the result because it accomplishes two objectives. First, the DEP and the Army Corps of Engineers were strongly encouraged to engage in good faith negotiations with the city of Margate over the nature and timing of the beach protection project. Secondly, there will be no contract awarded for construction of the dunes and construction activity of any nature on the beaches while our negotiations proceed in the next few weeks. We stand ready to negotiate in good faith toward a beach protection solution for the city of Margate that respects our city's unique circumstances and the will of our people as expressed at the polls on 2 occasions. We anticipate as negotiations ensue, there may be legal proceedings in a variety of forums and at numerous times. In any of these instances, we are prepared to defend vigorously the rights of the people of Margate, including their right to protection against unreasonable use of eminent domain powers. We are respectful of and pleased with the decision of December 14th. We will continue, December 4th, we will continue to fully inform the people of Margate as the process continues. And when we left that date on the 4th, we were expecting to have to go back to court on December 17th, that is back to federal court. The state had the option during that period of time to file their eminent domain proceedings in state court. We having waived to avoid their continually excuses before the judge, any provision that would require them to give us an appraisal prior to them going to file for state court. When they appeared before the federal judge, they claimed that their reason for circumventing the process was they needed to move swiftly and it would take too much time to do an appraisal and notify us and to follow the requirements of law. When the judge asked us about that, we suggested for the numerous time, for another time, but formally before the judge, that the question has never been about compensation for our property. The question has been the process for taking, and the question of the beach fill itself in terms of the way they're going about and doing it. She really did buy into that argument, and as soon as we said, well, we'll waive that provision, she then turned to the state attorney general, and she said that then there's nothing that prevents you now from filing. You can file today with the state. And she gave them to December 17th to do that. She also encouraged them to sit down and talk with us, which is what we've been trying to do for the last year. So on December 9th, which is in between the 4th and the 17th, obviously, I have this written. On this day, Judge Baum of U.S. District Court of New Jersey issued an order postponing the hearing scheduled for December 17th until mid-January 2015 to give the parties time for meaningful negotiations. This order was based on an agreement among the parties suggesting this process. The former temporary restraining order continues in the form of a preliminary injunction. Now, that brings us to today. We passed December 17th, but we have this agreement to go to mid-January. The date, I believe, is January 15th, that we're to appear back before Judge Baum, unless some significant progress takes place, or even if it does, perhaps we need to, at this point, we need to be there. On December 18th, which is today, Margate has been asked by the Army Corps of Engineers and the New Jersey DEP to prepare a written engineering summary of any modifications to the proposed beach protection plan. Based on an earlier report previously prepared for us by Charles Rooney of T&M Associates, a new summary is currently being prepared to be reviewed and given to the Army Corps and DEP prior to actual negotiations. It is expected that the report will be forwarded before the end of the month. In addition, the city engineer has been asked to summarize specific concerns with drainage and access provisions of the current Army Corps plan. Margate asked the Army Corps and the DEP to permit us to include our county, state, and federal elected representatives into the negotiation conference. That request has twice been denied, but we fully intend to keep our elected representatives informed as we move forward. We appreciate their continuing interest and their assistance on behalf of the citizens of Margate. While a specific date for actual negotiations has not been scheduled, it is likely that it will take place during the first full week of January. That's, as of today, exactly where we are. I anticipate having a summary report from Charles Rooney by the 23rd of December. It will be given to Rob Andrews and the legal team that we have, and providing it is satisfactory, as I suspect it may be, it will be forwarded to the Army Corps. They have asked for 3 business days to review that report prior to any meeting that we might have. Because of the holiday, and the number of business days that are in that week, I don't expect that we will meet until at least Monday, January 6th. At this point, I don't have a specific date. I will ask Ed if he could get us a written summary as well of the drainage and past the access issues that you're working on and have worked on for months. If you can put that in some kind of a summary form that I can forward to Rob Andrews as well, that would be good. Any questions?
I have none. Anybody? Okay. Marty? Thank you, Rich.
Many commissioners don't have any questions is because, I mean, we've been together on this 100%. I'm on the phone with the commissioners basically every day that I'm here, and they get a lot of emails officially from our legal counsel as well. And by the way, although we have emails and although they are the public record, they're not operable right now because it's between client and
That's right.
and
That's right,
attorney. Sharon understands. She's been cooperating. In this document, I didn't mention it tonight, but I met, which I did record last time, earlier in November, I met with the representatives of the local group whose initials I don't remember, but MQD, whatever. And they send us information and we send them information to keep abreast. In fact, there was a document that Sharon sent me this week that I circulated to the commissioners, which appeared in the Law Journal, which was very interesting because this action of Judge Baum was reported in the State Law Journal. The only other thing I would say, though, from my perspective, we're doing very well, but we're doing very well on the issue of eminent domain. And the issue of eminent domain is different than the beach fill itself. The good part about the fact that we are dealing with the issue of eminent domain is it's such an important issue to everyone in this country in terms of a taking of property. It's not taken lightly. Property cannot be taken lightly. Ours in Margate, our personal property, or any place else in this country. But a lot of legal issues relative to the taking. My passion comes from the eminent domain issue, but it opens the door to the other issue. And for whatever reasons, the state has still not filed in state court, even though it has the opportunity to do so and is but all but directed to do so. So frankly, we will be prepared at the negotiating table to get some concessions that are substantial enough to satisfy the commissioners. Again, anything? Any comments that they want to make? Fine. Okay,
Thank you,
that's all I
Rich.
have, Mayor.
Lisa?
Just have a few things. As you know, due to Hurricane Sandy, we had to take out some special emergency notes to pay for the emergency expenditures, and the original amount was $3,750,000. We're required to pay down 1/5 of that, obviously for 5 years. So our notes currently, last year's note is actually coming due on the 24th, but we went ahead and sold the new note for $2,250,000. We had some successful results. There were 3 bids that came in. The winning bid was Jeffries LLC, and they offered us a premium of $12,377 and a net interest rate of 0.698%. Last year, we received 0.697%. So those are excellent results. I want to thank Joel Fleischman for facilitating this. He did an excellent job, as always. I also just want to report that I did receive a copy of the GIF budget for 2015, and that is remaining flat. The portion allocated to the GIF expenditures, actually, there was a decrease, but when they factor in the professional fees and everything that's included in our assessment, there were some slight increases, but the net result, it was flat. And just so you're aware, the dollar amount of the assessment, $777,510. But that was good news, and that will help with our budget. And lastly, I also would like to congratulate Tom on his retirement. No matter what our differences have been over the years, I do wish you the best, Tom, and I hope that you have a very long, happy, healthy retirement, because you deserve it. Thank you.
Dan?
Yeah, nothing really new on the fire department side. To echo everyone else, I've been here almost 25 years now myself, and Tom's been the clerk that entire time. We've had a great working relationship, and on behalf of the fire department, we wish you nothing but the best. I know you'll spend a lot of time with a number of our firefighters on the golf course, since that's already been past practice, but we just wish you the best, Tom, and enjoy your future. On one other note, I just want to wish everyone Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and most of all, a Happy New Year. 2015 is going to be a way better year than 2014, so. Kwanzaa too, I forgot Kwanzaa, sorry.
Thank you, Dan. Ed?
Okay. We received bids for the repurposing of the Washington Avenue Municipal Building. The bids came in both over budget and the actual low bidder's bid was incomplete. So we've made a recommendation and a request to reject the bids and authorize us to go out to bid again. What we're going to do in the interim is look at value engineering the plans. The bids were about 10% higher than our estimate. So we're going to look to see, I'd like to get it down below our estimate. I am going to meet with some builders just to get their comments, their input, and then I would anticipate that we would probably bid the project and receive it at the end of January, so that hopefully we can award it then. In addition, the geothermal wells at that building right now are being rehabbed, the discharge wells. And apparently, we thought we had some problems there, but things are looking better, so we should have those back online in the next day, which is great. The paving program, currently Mansfield and Benson beach blocks, the water main's done, water and sewer services are complete, and sanitary sewer is also done. On Granville Avenue, the water main and the stormwater work is complete because we do have a stormwater line that runs down Granville Beach Block. The sanitary sewer is under construction. It'll be followed by the sewer laterals, the water services, and then concrete crew. As soon as that's done, the concrete crew should come in to start working on all 3 blocks. The work that went on at this building is about 90% complete. The only thing that did not get completed was the chimney, the flue lining for the boiler. We should be okay through the winter. We've made the decision not to try to attempt this while the system's in operation. We did have a reoccurring problem. We were able to trace that to the igniter actually had a circular crack. They replaced the igniter, and the boiler has not gone off. So we're happy that we will, and confident we'll make it through the winter with the way the boiler is set up. Tom, I've been here 22 of your 25 years. I appreciate when I came in how you brought me into the Margate family, made me feel very welcome. I appreciate your guidance during that time. I'm jealous that you're retiring and I'm not. But most of all, I appreciate your friendship. And I still look forward to seeing you after this. So enjoy yourself. Live vicariously.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you, Ed. Maury, you have anything?
Yeah, I have two things. I just want to thank Mr. Sewell, who every week when we come and sit at our table, if we hadn't had a chance to read the newspaper or up on current events, he provides us with what he believes and I believe are important items. And I want to assure him that related to this week's article that we are in fact working on looking at advertising for accountants that I believe is in the works. New auditing firm, and we're also working on our pay-to-play issues that we may or may not have. So we take that message and we will run with it. And I think that I've run out of adjectives to talk about Tom. I am going to miss him. The city of Margate City is going to miss him. And I, too, value the friendship that I have and will always have with Tom. Not to steal any of his thunder on his day, however, being that it is Tom Hiltner Day, I want to thank his brother Yogi Hiltner for the work that he's done at our rec complex. Every year when I think it can't get any better or more spectacular, something new turns up. And so for that, I want to say publicly thank you to Yogi Hiltner. Certainly anybody that rides by there is wowed by that display. So thanks to Yogi and Public Works for all the support that they lend to make that the talk of Atlantic County, and I want to say probably New Jersey as well. So thank you for that. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Brenda?
Just a couple things. I agree with Maury. I think, and I put this in the newsletter, I think the holiday lighting looks extra special this year. So thank you to Yogi, and I think Mike McElroy helped him and some other team members. So they really did do a spectacular job, and it is extra special, and I know all of us enjoy it. So thank you to them. The newsletter is just about put to bed. I'm waiting for one more thing, and I hope Fred will be able to send it out for me tomorrow, maybe. Okay. We received a letter from the JFS, from Beth Joseph. I'm looking down the list here, and I see Roger's wife's on the board, but it's just a thank you note to all of us for our generosity for the food and the checks that they collected. We were able to help a lot in the families in the community, so thank you again to everybody who donated. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah. I don't know if anybody celebrates, Ramadan or Kwanzaa, but if you do, happy holidays. But Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, and may our troubles be few and our blessings be many in the new year. And I, too, would like to congratulate Tom, and I wish you well in your retirement.
Thank you. Tom, I wish you well.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for all you've done for the city, and have a long and happy, healthy retirement.
Thank you.
Okay. And also, I would like to thank all of the city staff for another successful year as we close out 2014. I think I can speak for both Brenda and Maury. They make our lives pretty easy. We've got a great staff here, and hopefully we will, continue. And once again, as everybody else has said, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and for everybody, a happy, healthy 2015. At this point, we'll open for, public comment for anything that was discussed here today, so all you people can come up and talk about Tom, because it's the only thing was discussed today, and that's a good thing.
Sewell, 22 West Drive. Not to change the topic, and I realize that it's difficult for the mayor to concentrate on issues, especially multitasking, but it's imperative. I'm following up on the remarks of Commissioner Blumberg. It is imperative that this commission raise the bar, both the ethical and legal bar. Now, the solicitor knows well the gold standard of ethics, to avoid the mere impression of impropriety. That's the standard. That's the gold standard. And both commissioners and the mayor must abide by that. And I say start the new year off right. Let us get an ordinance on the book that at long last bans, prohibits any and all nepotism and patronage, and bans, prohibits any and all pay to play, including services in kind. Mayor, when you lie down with dogs, you're going to get up with fleas. You associate with disgraced, discredited people. It doesn't benefit the city when you do these type of actions. And when you ignore your own RFP and end up costing the city $634,000 of dollars with no clear way to recoup that money, it's coming out of the taxpayers' hides. And when I see these elderly people in town who cannot pay their real estate taxes, it breaks my heart. And it's up to the commissioners. If the mayor won't stand up and man up and own up to the financial fiasco and train wrecks that he creates, then it's up to Maury and Brenda to take the lead. We don't want to see any more nepotism or patronage. It's got to come to an end. It's costly. It is costly. As I told you before, no uncertain terms. I'll move forward with the nepotism issue, even if it costs me money, because I'm sick and tired of it. I want to see it stopped dead in its tracks. I don't want to see public service with conflicts of interest. I don't want to see appointments to the school board with conflicts of interest. This must stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sewell. Anyone else?
Sharon Simon, 424 North Thurlow Avenue. Mr. Hiltner, on behalf of many people in the community who were not able to come to a 4 o'clock meeting, I wanted to congratulate you, and you'll be sorely missed for many reasons. And I don't play golf or care about golf, so I can't say that's one of them for me. But I have heard over and over, and I knew this before you were retiring, and I hear it echoed across this table, of the wealth of knowledge you have and how much you brought to the city and helped the city. And so my question to this commission is, what is the plan, or what's the process of trying to, you can't replace Tom, but in terms of hiring a city clerk? And I would say, I would think that you agree, but it's important to get someone experienced, not a new person, because we've had somebody with this depth of knowledge, and so, you know, I don't know, is anybody even talking about, and what is the time frame of bringing somebody on, and who is going to be, I don't know if Rosie said she was or what, but who's going to be taking the responsibilities of running this city from his responsibilities while starting January 1st, like with the existing staff?
Do you want that answer now?
I can't hear you.
Would you like that answer now?
Sure, I'd like it.
Okay,
I think people here would like it, and people listening to the tape would like it.
If you would look at the agenda for the next meeting,
It's not out.
we don't have one? Well,
Rosie's going to get it, so I didn't have the opportunity.
because I don't have one either.
Okay,
But
so we're even.
on that agenda is an appointment of Rosie Freed to the position of clerk till the end of January. At her request.
Okay.
During that time, we will sit together with the commissioners and come up with some sort of process to advertise and interview and hire a clerk.
For both positions, actually, right? Because is Rosie retiring or leaving? And I thought she was, and then, did you get her to stay another whole year? Personnel issue.
Personnel, correct. Okay.
All right, thank you.
We will keep you aware of what that process is.
Thank you, very much appreciate it. As far as Mr. Deeney's report, yes, you're 100% on that. There's the legal issue, the eminent domain, which is more concrete. If a judge says, yes, you're doing it, or no, you're not doing. Our information tells us the reason why the state does not want to go through eminent domain is because of not only the time frame, because it will take so long, but for money as well, financial, because when a judge decides what the value of the property is, and this is what we're being told, is that it's between the value of the protection, the added protection, and the loss of view. Well, we have a bulkhead system that provides protection, so then the question becomes, is the dune added protection for purposes of determining the value of the property? So that is, from what I understand, again, one of the reasons they don't want to go through eminent domain. So now, as far as coming to a compromise and everything, it's technical. And what kind of compromise will the Army Corps consider? And I did send you an email, and we talked about that, but we're trying to get connected, our people, with your people together, because we have one of the foremost technical people who work with MCQBP. It's a former Army Corps person. And truly, if anybody can look at something and say, well, these are the things the Army Corps are going to come back and say, this, and this, he's the guy. So hopefully we can connect. I want to be out of it, but a conference call, and we can talk about that, so your team can work directly with them or not work directly with them. But I can't emphasize enough how the more we have, knowing what the Army Corps is going to come back and say, obviously, the better off we are. And the dates you gave, you said the 23rd, the report will go from Rooney to the city, and then when was it going to be given to the Army Corps?
Very shortly thereafter.
Okay.
Before the end of the year.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. And Solicitor Abbott, I don't know what you were referring to with attorney-client privileges or Oprah requests, but I know I have a couple in, so feel free to contact me directly, not in public, in front of everybody. I don't have attorney-client privilege issues, although it's been known it's happened in this meeting, so thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Oh my gosh, is it two-pager? It's a
two-pager.
Steve Warner, 103 North Sumner Avenue. First of all, I'd like to wish everyone here a happy Hanukkah, a Merry Christmas, and a happy and healthy 2015. I'd like to echo Deputy Chief Adams. I hope 2015 is better than 2014. This is a pretty rough year for a lot of people. With regards to property rights, I don't know if people realize that this country was founded on the right to own property. It's really one of the most basic rights that we have. And how we differ from so much of the rest of the world, where we actually own, if we have minerals on our property, we own those minerals. Other countries, you don't own the minerals. Also, we own, property in like Soviet Union or Communist China or what have you. You don't own anything, or you didn't own anything. You didn't even own the clothes on your back. You didn't own the food on your table. The Communist Party believed that they owned the food that you ate. So what a great country it is that we live in, that we have so many rights. And when this goes to the judge, I will say, let the judge decide, and whatever that is, that's what we're going to have to live by. Again, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Anyone else? Is there a motion to close public comment?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Blumberg?
Yes.
Mr. Stalvey?
Yes.
Being no other business, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Blumberg?
Yes.
Mr. Stalvey?
All right. Thank you. We'll reconvene in a couple minutes, very short time.
Yes. Are you leaving? What time are you arriving?
Don't go. Thank you, Rich.